We end Cain's heritage as recorded in the Bible with Genesis 4:20-24. What it has to say about Cain is not very good. As a matter of fact, Cain's rebellion by murdering his brother ended off with even more murder and mayhem and indescribable pride. Let's read this right now. Genesis 4:20-24, verse 20, and Ada bore Jabal. Now Ada, if you remember, was Lamech's first wife. And Ada bore Jabal. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as have cattle. And his brother name was Jubal. See now, Jabal and Jubal. He was the father of all such as handle the harp and organ. And Zillah, verse 22, she also bore Tubal-Cain, an instructor of every fine, skilled manufacturer. That's the King James here says artificer in brass and iron. And the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. Why they mentioned Naamah, I don't know. I don't see her mentioned anywhere else but Naamah. And Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice, you wives of Lamech. Listen to my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged 7 times, truly Lamech 77. Wow! Cain's heritage in chapter 4 ends with Lamech, who decided one wife was not enough. He had to have 2. His wife, Ada, his first wife, gave birth to Jabal. I call him the first cowboy. And it's interesting that his name actually means glide away, or one who roams. Ada also gave birth to Jubal. So there's Jabal and Jubal, which means he who runs, or trumpet. Trumpet? Okay. Both meanings fit, as he became a great itinerant musician. Okay. The father of all who handled a harp and organ. I can see that. Lamech's second wife, Zillah, gave birth to Tubal-Cain, meaning worldly possession. See, Cain means possession. Tubal-Cain, worldly possession. Or, funny, possessed of confusion. Did you get that? Confusion possessor. So, possessed of confusion. It is interesting that he was the original brass and metal ironworker, maker of all sorts of metallurgical tools which later would fashion idols. There's where the confusion comes in, isn't it? Interesting that modern archaeology is confirming today what the Bible said long ago. That there was a high degree of technology associated with the earliest human settlers all over the world. But Lamech's greatest claim to fame was his proud boast to his 2 wives. And some have called this Lamech's sword song. Hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken to my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. Now this beats it all. If Cain shall be avenged 7-fold, truly Lamech 70 times and 7. Now, according to the rabbis have been studying for generations and generations and generations through their Talmuds and all kinds of commentaries. Now, according to rabbinic tradition, Lamech murdered 2 people merely because his feelings were hurt and a wounded pride. Wow. A Jewish tradition even suggests that one of the men he slew was none other than his ancestor, Cain himself, fearing neither God nor man. You know, that actually makes sense. Because he boasted and declared that any person who would kill him for revenge would be avenged 11 times worse than God originally claimed for Cain. It seems the entire lineage of Cain lost the point God was making back in verse 15. And that was, God was trying to display his grace, his infinite grace. So, we close this portion of chapter 4. As at this time, the human race is divided between Adam and those claiming to be with the Lord, and Cain and those proudly rebelling against the Lord. So, with Lamech, the polygamist, guy that wasn't satisfied with just one wife. With Lamech, the curtain falls on the lineage of Cain. God chose to tell us nothing of Cain's descendants. Their influence, their evil influence, however, had already begun to infect all mankind like a cancer.